All right, hello again, everybody. We're back up and running here at the Jack Threlfall Show on this rainy Monday afternoon. And what I want to talk about today is the fact that a general attendance ticket to this year's Silverstone British Grand Prix will cost you around £360. Now, keep that as a base price. Throw on another 100 if you want grandstand access, another 40 if you want the worst park and ride service you've ever experienced in your entire life, and another 7 if you want a pint of beer along the way. Now, that's a lot of money. But Formula One's a pretty incredible product, right? It's the Hollywood stuff, it's the drama, the passion, the energy that captures the spirits, the imaginations of racing fans around the world, fans just like you and me. And if the tickets sell out, as they pretty much have done already this year, the promoters have done their job. The demand has outweighed the supply. They couldn't make enough tickets to sell, right? And if they keep increasing the prices year on year, you have inelastic demand where raises in price have no effect on the demand of the product, right? People aren't changing whether they're going to go or not, even though you keep jacking up the price. They have this huge pricing power. The newspapers claim that in 2022, 401,000 people attended Silverstone over the 3-day weekend of the Formula One race. 2 of those people were me and my dad. On a personal level, it was amazing, right? It's the best thing ever. I mean, everything that you see on TV, all the documentaries, the podcasts, the information that you spend your life, consuming, learning about as a Formula One fan, it's right in front of you. The energy, the superstars, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen racing on track right in front of you, the passion of the Ferraris, all the drama, all the stakes, the expectation, and the eyes of the sporting world are on a track that you're getting to witness it live for first hand. And it's amazing, right? We were sat at the Stowe grandstand, Stowe C. We had the DRS zone of the Hangar Straight barreling towards us, the fast corner of Stowe, and then an opportunity for overtaking on the brakes into the Vale corner, right? It was one of the cheaper spots throughout the weekend, but in my personal opinion, it was awesome. And if I've done my editing job right, there'll be some pictures on screen now of our view. And as I said, it's really awesome. They create this incredible energy as an event. It feels almost like a music festival. All the food trucks outside, all the extra stuff. You've got like the red arrows flying overhead, this kind of epic anthem ceremony, all the stuff you would want. But does it really warrant that price tag? Yeah. I mean, that's really the point of the video. To any rational consumer who isn't a degenerate racing fanboy, paying nearly 400 quid on average for even one day, right? If you just go to the Sunday, it's extortionate, right? It's way too much money. There's no way that it's good value, proportionally to compared to what other options are out there. So consider that a nearly £400 general attendance ticket. It's going to run you further into the thousands if you want any kind of hospitality access, you want to get in the pit lane, you want to meet the superstars, all those, they're like an airline where anything you bolt on, extra legroom, charge, lunch, charge, all these different little bits, right? You want to get in early, charge. You want to, get in a secret door, charge. It just starts to feel like you're really, they know that they hold that pricing power and they exploit it to the maximum. And you can argue, well, it's because, the people that work for Formula One, they want to show whoever their boss is that they're doing as best as possible, which is then, profit maximizing, trying to get the most money out of the consumer so they can demonstrate whatever sales revenue growth and keep the shareholders happy in the long run. But what you have then is a consumer, you get to have the choice, right? Where do you spend your money? A ticket so expensive can be part of, the perpetuation of F1's worst stereotypes. The fact that it's just for rich people, it's, the world's most complicated money laundering scheme. It's a folly for the rich and the powerful to shove the logos of all their companies on our TV screen, and we're tricked into caring about it by these very complicated marketing campaigns on Netflix and etc. So what if we had something a bit more grassroots, a bit more low cost, and supported by small businesses, family-run sponsors, family-run teams? Well, let me submit into evidence, Your Honour, the British Superbike Championship. A Sunday roaming grandstand seat there at the Silverstone season opener this year would run you the grand total of £32. And to see if it was worth the value, to see how good of a deal it was, I took this offer and I went to round 1 of the British Superbike Championship. For that £32, you'll get free parking at the circuit with no traffic either side. You can go at a reasonable time and not expect a 1-hour drive to turn into 4 hours plus a bus journey. You get paddock access, so within about 2 hours of the start of the race, you're let into the pit lane to do a pit lane walk. All the teams and drivers and All the sponsors are facing out of the garages, happy to sign anything, take pictures with fans, all included in the base ticket price of £32. That's crazy, right? You have YouTube creators like Alistair Fagan from 44 Teeth, reading off my notes there, my elite presenting skills. So he's there. They're making a series at the moment where he's competing in the BMW F900R Cup, which is a support series for the British Superbike Championship. So they were really one of the more popular stars of the weekend when you look beyond the riders in the top class. The fact that you're getting, as part of a motorcycle fan community in the UK, to watch one of the YouTube creators race firsthand, to get that close access where you can just go up to their garage, say, hey, buy a hoodie, whatever, meet the people that you so closely interact with. It echoes, if people know Jimmy Broadbent, he's a massive kind of sim racing YouTuber. He competed in the British Endurance Championship, the Britcar Championship with Praga in a kind of spec series there. And it brought a huge amount of attention. It's kind of a similar effect with Alistair and 44 Teeth. In terms of other stars at the British Superbike Championship that you could go and see for your £32, you had the reigning Isle of Man TT champion, Peter Hickman, on the big bikes. I mean, anyone that's ever watched a TT onboard knows that those guys are absolutely mental, and the level of performance that they push themselves to achieve what they achieve round the mountain course is absolutely absurd. And now we've got Peter Hickman applying his talents to a circuit racing championship. So it's a really interesting test, right? It's one of those examples of a star from one category. Can he exceed in something else? As I did with the Formula One, hopefully I'll be underpinning this brilliant storytelling with some of my favourite photos from the weekend. But overall, I mean, it was an awesome event, right? Sparsely attended compared to the F1, but just on the Sunday that I attended, there were two main event races. So about 35, 40 minutes each, bit like a MotoGP sprint. Two of those, then all the support races kind of thrown in the middle. So you very rarely had a quiet track. If you wanted to see racing, if you wanted the noise, the energy, the overtaking, the cheers, the woes of people losing the front, sliding off into the barriers, the marshals volunteering to keep everyone safe, you could get as much as you wanted, right? It was a buffet of motorsport goodness. In car terms, the British Superbike Championship is a bit like the British Touring Car Championship in four-wheel mode, in the fact that they're based off, or very directly based off production equipment, whereas something like MotoGP or Formula One, they're much more engineered kind of prototype bikes, right? They're not connected really to something you could buy in a dealership. But what you get with that, you avoid the things that we're starting to see in MotoGP with like the aero problems. They're starting to see a dirty air effect because they keep engineering these bikes to be faster and faster and faster and faster. The aero gets more complicated. You've got dirty air. You've got the person behind overheating their front tyre, slowing down the racing and requiring tyre management that has taken a bit of the drama out of some of the MotoGP races this year. There's none of that in the British Superbike Championship, which is a good thing, right? One of the advantages. And also, if you have the cash, which is considerably lower than the cost of a supercar, if you have the cash, you can pretty much go and buy one of these rapid Ducatis, and they're insanely fast, right? They're still pushing 190 down the straights, and these guys are really, really talented. No matter what series they're racing in, no matter the equipment, you're going to see talent on track. So it's really a question of value, right? Both events take place at the same circuit, so I think you can get some value out of these numbers. So let's call the F1 ticket £400 on average. The British Superbike 32. That's a 92% reduction in price between F1 and BSB. In other words, if the British Superbike Championship experience is more than 8% as good as the Formula One, it's better value for money, right? Because you're getting, for 8% of the price, more than 8% of the value. Hope you follow my maths there. If that is true, we have ourselves a rare good deal, and something that for motorsport fans is a welcome thing, right? Oh, finally, we get a good deal. And surely it is a good deal, right? I mean, being able to fully walk the pit lane, freely roam around the paddock trucks of all the big teams and the small teams, all mixed together. You've got riders that are just about to go on track, whizzing past you on mopeds, asking, beep, beep, get out of the way, mate, I've got a race to get to. You can't believe that level of access in Formula One. That's behind 1,000 gates, 1,000 little scanner ticket, rotating barriers. You're not getting in there with your measly £400 ticket. We need grands if you're going to touch that kind of level of access. British Superbike Championship, welcome in, mate. Here's everything we have to, show on offer, because we want you as a new fan. And that's where, you can take advantage of these kind of discounts. The F1 experience, as I said, it's like an airline, right? Every single thing they're just going to upcharge you for because they know they have that power. And there's none of that with the British Superbike Championship. And that's what I really felt going for the first time as someone who's, a bit nerdy, come from the car world. I'm not a big motorbike guy, or I'm not, this cool smoking cigs, leather jacket. That's not really me. But I felt welcome. There were tons of families there. It was a really fun, open event. And you really got to experience that as a fan. And no one's pissed off from waiting in traffic all day because there's no traffic, right? Half of the people show up on bikes, so the car park's empty. Love that. But maybe you want some of the magic of Formula One and the value of the British Superbike Championship. You want to have your cake and eat it, right? What's the middle ground between the openness, the welcoming in of new fans of the British Superbike Championship, and then the magic of Formula One, right? The world tier event that Formula One is. Something with the international acclaim, with the legacy, the legends, the politics, all the pressure of a world-class motorsport championship. In this instance, look no further than the big, much richer cousin of the British Superbike Championship, MotoGP. £85 for just a Sunday race ticket this year at Silverstone, the same track that we've been talking about in the video. And you'll get, for that £85, what in my opinion has to be one of the best racing series anywhere in the world. Can Pecco Bagnaia deliver on that rocket ship of a Ducati? That's the wrong bit of paper. Let me transfer smoothly to the script that I'm trying to read off. Can Marc Marquez recover from his many injuries? What about Enea Bastianini? What about Marco Bezzecchi, the young VR46 riders, the next wave of MotoGP stars coming out of the Valentino Rossi Academy? And for Bezzecchi, the Valentino Rossi team getting their first wins this year as a customer Ducati outfit. Can Quartararo get any faster on the Yamaha? We know he's one of the best, but is his equipment there, right? Who is the next young star to emerge from the rider factories in Spain? You look across Moto2 and Moto3, Pedro Acosta, David Munoz, right? Incredible names. Jaume Masia in Moto3. People challenging for world championships, all from little pockets, right? Little cliques. The Spaniards versus the Italians. All these different layers play out in MotoGP. You get your value for money, you get your magic, you have your cake and eat it. I think that's exactly what you get with MotoGP. I mean, I'm not really sure how F1 can solve this problem of the rising ticket prices, or even if the people that organise it view it as a problem at all, right? They're seeing the tickets sell out. They know they can keep upping the prices. Their revenue's going to grow. Their costs are going to grow. But, as the promised future revenue expectations grow and grow and grow, once they realise that they have this pricing power, they can, I suppose, leverage, right? They can leverage that future revenue to invest in the moment and build bigger grandstands. But the ticket price can just keep going up, right? They can have more capacity, but if they keep selling out, they're never going to put the prices down. For me, the gold standard of international sporting events, of world tier, large scale, high attendance events, is the Masters, the golf tournament in Augusta, Georgia, the biggest, the Super Bowl of golf, really. It's something that every golf fan around the world wants to attend, and to get the chance to attend, you have to apply for a lottery. It's a bit like Wimbledon, but the thing with Augusta is they know how much they could charge, but they don't. If you win the lottery, you get access to the tickets. The actual price you're going to pay for those tickets is not crazy. And you get that kind of feeling of that special moment of knowing you were chosen by a pure random lottery, right? You can get scalp tickets. You probably can get celebrity access, hospitality, all that stuff. If you know the right people, golf is still golf, right? It's all a bit, slimy and connection based. But as a fan, you're not paying more than I think a couple of $100 for a ticket to the Super Bowl of golf, right? The biggest event of the year. And all the things inside the tournament are also reasonably priced, where they know that they could jack up the prices, $15 beers, etc. But they don't. The prices leak every year, or they come out every year of what they're charging for sandwiches and beer and whatever food around the tournament. And they're never crazy. There's a lack of sort of profiteering that Augusta pride themselves in. They know that they get this kind of reputational gain. The prestige of the event persists because they're not going for this hugely exploitative price mechanism, right? I think that's the kicker, right? That's the good idea. And it pays off in the long run, but it's not good if you're a sales manager at Silverstone and you want to have a bonus so you can, buy a conservatory on your house. You're going to need some kind of revenue growth, and you only get that by jacking up the prices. So, as I said, I don't know if they're going to even try and solve it. The solution, therefore, is not something that you're ever going to be able to implement on a regulatory scale to bring down the ticket prices of Formula One. It's just not realistic. So what you really should do is be individually rational and decide where you spend your money based on where that value is and how you spend your time accordingly to get the most value as a motorsport fan. Things like the BSB, the MotoGP, the British Touring Car Championship, even the European Le Mans Series is a fantastic option if you want to get outside the continent and explore some world tier circuits all over Europe. The British GT Championship, the Formula E is even getting good this year, and across the pond you've got IndyCar, you've got IMSA, you've got NASCAR, are all still relatively cheap to attend compared to Formula One. If you're a motorsport fan anywhere in the world, you're going to get more value out of embracing what is humble, what is close to home, what is grassroots. Those series need the fans so much to keep going that they'll welcome you in. And if your desire is to work in racing, to find some experience, to show an employer that you have that passion for racing, if you can show them you've gone and got involved at whatever level you can get involved with in grassroots motorsport near your home, you've contributed work, or you've helped them grow their attention, or you've just gone as a fan, but you've gone and bonded with an engineer, a team owner, a driver, whatever, making those connections is going to be so much easier at an event that wants you there, right? F1 just wants the most money from whoever they can get the money from. They don't care really about whose money they're taking. They don't really want you there. But a fan that can, attend the motorsport event for the first time, be welcomed in, is going to hold on to that lifelong memory. I'm not really sure if I have a cohesive point to round out the video really, but I'd love to know what you think, right? What motorsport have you been to this year? Is there anything close to home that you think people should know about? What human organ will you be selling to the black market to attend a Formula One race next year once they touch £500? These are all important questions. Please feel free to argue about them in the comments below. For now, though, that's our time. The video is over. Thanks for watching.